This is the greatest podcast for elite losers, and I am this week, week 25, 26, I don't know what week it is. We are front-facing the camera because last week we had some technical difficulties and the camera was shaking the whole time. But for what it's worth, as mentioned before, the greatest podcast for elite losers should have a shaking camera. It should not be still. I saw some comments as like it was a mushroom trip. Well, isn't that good? By the way, we're taking our meds. Not meds, vitamins. Could I have taken this before the podcast started? Of course. Of course. But these are all things that would have made this a bigger and better podcast. And then really, what's the whole point of calling it the greatest podcast for elite losers if hundreds of thousands of people are watching this and I'm making money? At that point, is it even the greatest podcast for elite losers? Probably, because if you do the mathematics of it with 8 billion people in the world, oh, for sure. Oh, more than 50%. 50% is loser. 50%, if you go by Buddhism, for every joy there's a sorrow. 10,000 joys, 10,000 sorrows. So for the 8 billion people, there's 4 billion people that are not losers, which I highly doubt. But out of the 4 billion other losers, how many of those are elite? Big mistake. I just ate a half a chicken, rice and beans, and some vegetables right before I did this. So I feel my stomach is protruding. It's protruding like when you see a guy who's got one of those beer bellies, which is insane. I don't know, like if I eat ice cream tonight, I'll eat a pint with 3 cookies, and then tomorrow I'm in like sugar coma. I have a headache, I don't sleep well, I'm angry, and I'm off. I don't know how a guy with that like fucking boiler, and I respect it. I respect your boiler more than any woman who's pregnant because you've worked years for that. A woman's only pregnant for 9 months and she had help. You drank that beer by your fucking self. You made that yourself. Sure, you had a support system of other drunks, but you made that beer yourself. You made that beer gut yourself. I knew eating before this wouldn't be a great idea, but anyways, I feel heavy right now. I feel heavy on stout, so I'm going to sit distinguished. But anyways, I feel a rant incoming because I love politics. This week, yes, I won't make jokes about assassinations. I don't find that funny. I find that insane. But it is also entertaining. Like, not that I'm saying what's going on in politics. This whole like, I grew up with what I would argue decent TV, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad, like decent shows. I've seen a couple shows in the last, like Mindhunter was great on Netflix. Guy Ritchie's show, I just saw it, was great. But there's a lot of bad TV. The only thing, I'm going to talk like how they talk presidential. They all talk, I'm very presidential. Fuck that. The only thing that constantly is good right now is politics in terms of entertainment value. Every day, at every night, I can go on between Glenn Greenwald, Tim Pool, a Joe Rogan Experience episode, a Jimmy Dore. If you're into the Young Turks, you're into Dave Smith, whoever you're into, there's so many pundits talking about breaking down this entertainment, like this is WWE, this is wrestling, and nothing. It's not real. I mean, obviously what happened, I find that scary what happened to Trump, the assassination attempt. I don't like that shit. I think that's scary. It's insane that people are that fucking crazy. I'm not political. I'm not asexual. I'm not apolitical either, but I'm not political. I don't pick a side. I think it's a whole bunch of shit. I think it's a scam and a half. I think we're living in some fucking scam, and it's just entertainment to keep our minds off of the fucking kids chopping off their dicks. No, I don't know what it's for. I think we have to have something like a figurehead so it doesn't go crazy. People are, man, in the summertime in New York City, it's 100 degrees. You go underground to take the train late at night. Man, people, you know they're crazy. And the only thing that stops the crazy is law and order. So the only thing that's stopping the crazy is this perceived idea that politics, DC, it all matters. Which maybe it does. Maybe it is important to have the FDA so people aren't jizzing into fucking pill capsules and selling that. So maybe that is important, but I don't even know if this is approved by the FDA. So I could be eating pill caps with jizz in it. Won't complain if it's from a hot guy. But yeah, so I'm not like a political guy, but I watch it every day because it's entertaining to me. And there is something that I watch about Trump and I'm impressed by. I'll admit it. I don't vote. I'm not a voter. Would never vote, have never voted, and will never have. I think I voted in like the high school election for president. I think that was the last time I voted. 1998 was the last time I voted. But I'm not a political person. I don't care about politics. I don't care about it at all. But that man as a figurehead, as someone who will delete Instagram posts because I'm worried people will come after me, because I made a post outside of a church saying I nut on chicks' foreheads. And then I saw a couple comments. I'm like, yo, I gotta delete this. There's crazies out there. If I got shot at, I would have for sure shit myself. For sure. For sure shit myself. And speaking of which, I think I have like, my asshole is itchy. And I don't know what's going on right now. So I hope it's not a hemorrhoid. But sometimes I just sit there and push even though I don't need to shit. Because I'm getting work done, because you're least distracted on the toilet. I have the squatty potty, I have the bidet also, so I put the laptop on my knees, I hunch over, and I'm getting work done, and I kind of feel like I have some... Dude, sometimes I watch my dogs take a shit, and it just drips out so flawlessly. They don't wipe their ass or anything, and I'm like, what I would do to do that every day. Twice a day to shit like that. But anyways, it is entertaining. The whole thing is entertaining. It's, even watching Hulk Hogan rip his shirt off, and people are like, this is crazy. You're like, no, it's phenomenal TV. Trump's loving it. I'm loving it. People there love it. That's why I'm not political. You watch the actual people who are really serious about it on both sides, and even the libertarians, and they're like, they're fucking crazy. I have nothing in common. Like, there are certain things, you see it in stand-up comedy. There's a lot of comics I do spots with. In no other realm of life would I ever be friends with you. We're just sharing the same stage tonight. We're all sick in the head, though. At least that's the good common thing that we know. But, yeah. So you see who's at these fucking things. And, first of all, am I flossing my teeth right now? Probably. It is the greatest podcast for elite losers. But first of all, as much as I do admire him as I don't give a fuck what you think about him. I admire him. I'm 43. I've never gone over 3 weeks in a row where I wasn't worried about money. I've never done that. Here, let's censor this part. I have something in my back tooth. Oh, feels so good. I've never gone a 3-week period. Ever. By the way, if we ever become successful, people are going to be putting that one too. Like the podcast cringe moment. Podcast cringe. He used to floss his teeth on his own podcast. Yeah, because there's fucking 100 people and 98% of them don't watch it more than 2 minutes. So go fuck yourself. Put that there. Podcast cringe. But anyways, yeah. I don't know why. I don't relate to these people. I don't see nothing eye to eye with them. And yes, I admire the man who was shot at and had the wherewithal with blood going down his face to put his fist in the air. And if you as a human being, like are so wrapped up in your thing that you can't even see that, something's wrong with you. Maybe it's not about who's the president, and I don't think it is. That's the other thing. I don't think it's about the president. I think it's about my neighbors. I see how people, like I'm walking across the street. Some guy's going from the pizza shop to his car, has a napkin, just throws it on the floor. You think who's the president makes a fucking difference with that guy? He's a piece of shit. There's just pieces of shit. Don't litter. There's a garbage can on every fucking corner, but yet people just litter. And is that something? I'm not Greta Thunberg, by the way. I don't give a fuck about littering. I don't know if that's what her thing is. I'm sure litterers don't help. But it's all fake and phony. Nobody cares. Like I went to go get my blood work today. This is not why I'm ranting. Nothing bad happened. But I went to go get the blood work today, and I'm walking by the cemetery, and there was this big bombastic. I think that's the word, bombastic. Man, I wish I knew words. I wish I read. I wish I knew the English. I wish I knew the English dictionary so I could use words like bombastic and have dumb people like me impressed. But it was one of those big, like you have to go in to go see the tombstone, I guess. Or they're having orgies late at night, all the ghosts. That's where you go. You knock on the door and you're like, yeah, all of us are having orgies. And there just comes a time, eventually, nobody's going to go visit your fucking grave. And you just have this big fucking thing that you're dead in. I told you, shouldn't have eaten that whole chicken. And a bunch of, ants and other things that was it not migrants have eaten your body? What are those things? Those bugs that eat you. They're just dining, not migrants. Maybe if migrants knew that there was fucking food down there, they would go. Maggots are eating you, right? Like, don't you, but yeah. So it's just watching that. It's like, it doesn't matter anymore. Whatever that guy was who could ever afford that big thing. And I don't want to make a small penis joke because I probably, if I had money, I would have something so fucking pimped out of its mind. But yeah, but even for that person who at some point was like a head of state, head of his family, the man, the figurehead, nobody's going to see that thing except me when I walk to go get blood work and then rant about it on something that no one else is going to see. So now it's just this whole fucking circle of nobody seeing anything. And nobody caring anymore. Nobody cares. Look how shiny my forehead gets. Jesus Christ. You had to go fucking bald. But anyways, that was my thought. It's days of our lives. It's young and the restless. That's what politics is to me. None of it matters. Yeah, obviously, there's some things like civil rights. Yes, it's great. I should say more enthusiastic. It's good. Civil rights is great. Women having the right to choose, that's great too. You know why it's good that women should have the right to choose? If none of them had the right to, they're fucking unbearable with in 4 states or 10 states, how many states, the fact that they can't have the right to choose. The ones that don't even live in that states are unbearable. Could you imagine if all 50 states, they didn't have the right to choose? Oh, you'd want to fucking shoot yourself in the head at the very least. And maybe this is hacky and not funny, but at the very least, give them the right to fucking choose so they shut the fuck up. Oh, this was fun. On a full stomach, too. Anyways, August 9th and 10th, we're in Saratoga Springs with Ryan Long. Was going to do San Antonio with Che Dorena this week, but I was too tired, so... I love doing this. Sometimes I'll sit on my couch. I'm like, fuck them. I'd rather just go on Reddit and jerk off. But then I get into this, and it's not shaking. So don't find no flaws for this episode, and don't use the excuse that as a flaw is like you flossed your teeth. I fucking warned you. Other than that, go on Instagram. I'm not a perv. We're about to have merch. Things are looking up. Hey, honestly, I think if we can do this every day, if we can have people like you guys who come in, it's good. But thank you guys again. Greatest podcast for elite losers. I'm JJ Lieberman. like it, share it, clip it, put it on the internet, dunk on me. I don't give a fuck.